Hello fellow video game collectors, and welcome to another pickups video. So today I want to share the pickups that I got for my birthday and for Christmas. So my birthday takes place a few days before Christmas, and this year I turned 30 years old. It is just so hard to believe that time has flown by so fast and that my 20s are already over. So this year my fiance Kristen decided to throw a surprise birthday party for me since I'm turning 30 years old. She just absolutely loves doing things like this. If you watched the video from last year, you will see that she threw a Doctor Who themed birthday party for me, which was really cool of her to do. So this time she blindfolded me, put me in the car, we drove around for about 30 minutes, and then she surprised me with all of my friends and family. It was really great. She did an awesome job decorating it because she had like all kinds of video game decorations, posters and balloons and everything like that. It was just awesome. So now here are the games and other things that I got for my birthday. So for my mom, I got a copy of Mass Effect 3. I haven't played the Mass Effect series yet, but I do already have the first two games in the series, and I've been meaning to play them for quite some time. So now I'm glad to have the third game in the series so I can finally get around and play the whole trilogy. Plus you've got the new one coming out soon. Now, although I haven't played these games yet, I do know that they were made by BioWare, who makes some really great RPGs, and the game itself is actually a third-person perspective cover-based shooter with RPG elements in it. The story and gameplay of the series is supposed to be really good, with lots of choices and decisions that you can make in the game. Although I know a lot of people had a lot of issues with the ending of this game, but as far as I know, I believe they came out with a new ending for it, which was supposed to help that out. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to playing this. So then from my brother Scott, I got Shin Megami Tensei 4. I've been wanting to play this game for a while, especially since I already bought the sequel to it before even owning this. I still haven't played a single Shin Megami Tensei game in the series, but it's a dungeon crawling RPG game where you fight lots of demons. It kind of has Pokemon-like elements to it where you capture and recruit these demons into your party, and you can like fuse them together to make them better. Apparently the story's not so great, but it's supposed to be really good for the exploration elements of the game, so I'm really looking forward to finally trying this one out. So then I got a couple of board games. Now, Carcassonne is one of my favorite board games. It's a tile map playing game where everyone takes a turn drawing a tile from the pile, and you place it on the board, and the tile has to match the edges of one of the other tiles that's already been laid out. You score points depending on where you place these little meeple figurines on the board, and whoever has the most points whenever you lay out all the tiles wins the game. So I already actually own Carcassonne, but for my birthday I got the expansion for it called Inns and Cathedrals. I don't have the box for it right here because I've already taken all of the expansion pieces out of the expansion box and put them in this box to make it easier to carry the game around. So the Inns and Cathedrals add a sort of like double or nothing gamble to the game. So when you have an inn or cathedral on your road or in your city, it increases the point value of that feature, but only if you complete it. If you don't complete it, then you don't get any points for it. So, you know, like I said, it's like a double or nothing gamble. So I've already played it a couple of times, and it's just a great addition to the game. It's definitely an expansion worth getting. So then from my friend Jay, he gave me the board game Forbidden Island. So this is a game that I've heard about before, but I never have played it. So my fiance Chris and I, we sat down and played a few games of it recently, and we really like it. It's a cooperative board game. The goal is for you and your friends to get all the treasures on the island, and then you have to get off the island before it sinks. It's a very fun game and can be quite challenging depending on what difficulty level that you set the game at when you start it. I was also very impressed at how easy it was to play this game for the very first time, you know, not ever playing it before or having someone teach me the rules. Everything is just very clear. With instructions on the cards and everything, and the rules are pretty simple to begin with. I definitely see myself playing a lot more of this game in the future. So I also got some new shelving. So Kristen's parents, they went down to IKEA, which is a couple hours away, and they picked up a couple of bookcases that I've really been wanting for some time. They got me 2 of the Billy bookcases. I don't have them here yet because I just haven't made room for them. I got to clear some space and figure out where I'm going to move some things around. But whenever I get around to putting them together and having them up, I'll be sure to post some pictures on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you guys can check that out. I definitely am always in need of new shelving, and I'm just really happy to get these now. Then from my future sister-in-law, Lindsay, she got me this Star Wars retro-looking camera strap. So this will actually go on this camera here whenever I take the other one off. So I thought that was really cool, really nice design, very well made. Then I got some new lights. So Kristen, she bought me a ring light, which is right here. It uses LEDs for the lights, although I already had to get it exchanged because one of the rows of the LED lights down here was doing this flickering, which is just really distracting to me. So I've actually been using this light for the past few of my videos. Hopefully y'all have been able to notice a difference. It also has an adjustable brightness setting, so it's got a little knob that I can turn up or down to whatever setting that I want the lights at. It also plugs into the wall, so I no longer have to worry about using batteries and keeping them charged like I was with the last LED light that I was using. I can also mount my camera right here on top of the light itself, but I think my lens is a little bit too heavy for it. It makes it shake quite a bit. So right now I'm still using my tripod directly behind the light, so it's just holding the camera up in the middle of the ring light. So let me know what you guys think about the lighting. Hopefully the lighting looks a lot better. That last light that I was using was just really harsh on my face and casting a lot of shadows. Then for myself, using the cash that I got for my birthday, I bought a Supaboy S. So this is the newest version of the handheld portable Super Nintendo console made by Hyperkin. So far, I'm really liking it. I plan on doing a full review of it soon after I've used it for a little while. So I'll give you guys my full thoughts on it then. And of course, I had to go see the new Star Wars Rogue One film for my birthday. My fiance, she treated me out and she got me popcorn, and because of that, I got this really cool popcorn tin. Overall, I thought the movie was great. It's a bit more grim and definitely focused more on the war part of Star Wars, but I thought it was a perfect lead up to Episode 4 New Hope. If you haven't seen it yet, you need to go watch this movie. I highly recommend it. Okay, so that's everything for my birthday. Now for the things that I got from Christmas. So then I got a few things from my friends Steven and Shelly. It's actually a little bit of both of birthday and Christmas, but the first thing that they got me was this book, Hyrule Historia, which is something that I have been wanting for some time. It has a lot of the official artwork of the Zelda series, plus some history about all of the games. It's definitely a great collector's item for anyone who likes to collect things about Zelda. There's also a sequel book coming out soon. It's called Legend of Zelda Art and Artifacts. I believe it comes out in February, so keep an eye on that one as well. The next thing I got from them was a copy of Ori and the Blind Forest. So this is actually a nice little platforming adventure puzzle game. It's actually more like a Metroidvania game where you go out and explore and you get new abilities, and that helps you open up more areas of the game to go explore. Combat in the game against enemies really isn't amazing or anything, but there are definitely some satisfying ways to take them out other than using like your straight up main attack. It's definitely a very beautiful game. The art style in this game is just simply fantastic, so be sure to check this one out if that sounds interesting to you. Then the next thing I got from them was this little board card game called the Voting Game. So this is a pretty simple card game where you read a question and everyone votes who a question applies to the most, and then each player who was voted on then has to try and figure out who voted for them for that question. So you can either play this game for points or maybe as a drinking game. I haven't got to play it yet, but I'll definitely check it out on my next board game night. And then the last thing I got from them is this Quirky Cordy's cable organizer. So all it really is just a simple weighted cable organizer. You've got these different slots here that you can lay cables on. So it's actually really useful to me because I charge my phone, my 3DS, my Vita, and everything else on the nightstand beside of my bed. So this keeps all of the cords on the table whenever I'm not charging any of those things. So then my friend David, he gave me this Straight Out of Mana t-shirt. I usually like to play Wizards and RPGs and Dungeons and Dragons, so this shirt is just perfect for me. And then David also got me this amiibo display. So it's just the end of a Mario level. You know, you've got the blocks going up and then you jump on the flagpole. So you can fit up to 6 amiibos on this. And, you know, I have a million amiibos, so this is a great display piece for me that I'm going to put out on one of my bookshelves. And then my friend Chris sent me this retro power-up mug. So that's right, I now have my first official piece of retro power-up merchandise. How awesome is that? So this is going to be great for, I don't really drink coffee, but I do like drinking hot cider and stuff like that. So I will definitely be getting a lot of use out of this. So then from my friends Matt and Skylar, they sent me a few packs of Cards Against Humanity. It was the Fantasy Pack, the World Wide Web Pack, and the 90s Nostalgia Pack. So I've already opened these, obviously. They came in blister packs, so I don't have like a fancy box or anything to show off. But I absolutely love Cards Against Humanity. It's a card game that I often go to at very large game nights. You know, so here I thought this was really funny. Here's trigger warning, YouTube comments. Then for my mom, I got a copy of Dr. Mario 64. So this is a port of the classical Dr. Mario game. It was released pretty late for the system. It has more features and modes than any other version of Dr. Mario though. But it's also Dr. Mario, so there's not a lot of newness here. So there's multiplayer modes, so you can play it with friends. There's even a story mode. Again, not much there, but it is there. It's definitely worth getting if you are a fan of Dr. Mario, especially if you want to play it with some friends. Then my mom also got me Flying Dragon for the Nintendo 64. It's a fighting game. It has both a 2D fighting mode with like these more cartoony-like characters and a 3D fighting mode that has more realistic looking fighters. In the 2D mode, it has like this progression system where your character gets these equipment items that improve your fighter's stats as well as you're able to level up those items. The 3D mode is more of a standard fighting game, so it doesn't have any of those power-up items. The game has a little bit of everything to offer, which might arguably mean that it really doesn't have a sense of direction, but it's probably not really the best fighting game for the Nintendo 64, but I still think it's one worth checking out. And then my mom also got me the latest R.A. Salvatore book. This is of the Driss series. It's called Hero. It's the 3rd book in the Homecoming series. So R.A. Salvatore is one of my favorite fantasy authors, and I usually get whatever new book that he puts out every single year. I'm a bit behind on reading the series, but I just absolutely love having these in hardback. And then the last thing my mom gave me is this Doctor Who bag that she hand crocheted herself. So again, she crocheted this herself by hand. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for yet, but I'll definitely find something to do with it. I mean, just how cool is that? I mean, did your mom make you a Doctor Who bag? This is just, I absolutely love it. So thanks a lot, Mom. And then my fiance Kristen, she got me even more expansions for Carcassonne. One called Traders and Builders and the other one called The Princess and the Dragon. So I haven't got to play these yet, but my understanding is that Traders and Builders helps encourage completing other players' cities as it gets you goods which are worth more points in the game, as well as it includes a pig meeple that increases the value of fields for whenever you place down meeples for as farmers on fields. And it also has a builder meeple which is supposed to give you an extra turn. And then the Princess and the Dragon expansion lets you place on previously placed tiles, which is something that you normally can't do in this game. The Princess and Dragon meeples, they can also allow for other pieces to be removed from play, along with this new fairy meeple that helps prevent that from happening. So very cool expansions. I'm really excited to check them out as I haven't got to play them yet. The Princess and the Dragon, it really seems like that it's going to shake up the gameplay a lot for sure. And then Kristen also got me this Carcassonne Amazonas, I guess that's how you say it. So this is a completely separate standalone Carcassonne game that she got me. It's not an expansion for the base game. I haven't had a chance to look at this yet, so I'm not really sure how much different it is from the base Carcassonne game. And she also ordered us a Star Wars version of Carcassonne, which is another one that I'm really looking forward to playing and checking out. And so Kristen got me board games for Christmas, and then it was really funny because I also got her some board games. So then for Kristen, I got her expansions for Dominion, which is one of her favorite games. If you're not familiar with it, it's a deck building card game where every turn you play some cards, then you use money to buy additional cards that go back into your deck. So every turn you're adding more cards to your deck and giving you more options for your future hands. And like a lot of board games, the end goal is whoever has the most victory points at the end wins the game. So for her, I bought specifically this Dominion Empires expansion, which adds a few new mechanics to the game like debt. So I also got her the second edition updates for the base version of Dominion, as well as the previous expansion Intrigue. So certain cards were removed from the original game and expansion, and they were replaced with new cards that are found in these update packs. So they made these so that you don't have to rebuy the entire game to get the new cards. Instead, you just get this update pack. The only problem that we have now with all of these cards is that we're running out of place to store them. So we previously bought this artisan box from Hobby Lobby and converted it into a carrying case for all of our Dominion cards, because currently we own all of the Dominion expansions. But now with these new expansions, we are just running out of room, and we're going to have to come up with some sort of additional supplemental storage for all of these cards. I do, however, recommend that you look into making one of these carrying cases if you have Dominion, because it is so much better to use that carrying case than having to carry around, each of these expansion boxes, and there's like at least 10 of these now. So the carrying case, it's about the same size as this, and it's just a great solution for the problem of what to do with all of these Dominion cards. And then the last thing I got for her is this board/card game called Codenames. So this is a really fun game that I bought for her. You break into two teams. One person is the spy master or whatever it's called, and what they do is they give a single word hint to the other players on their team along with the number of cards that that hint applies to. So your teammates then have to try and figure out which cards that are laying out on the board match that hint and that number that you gave them. So your goal is to get all of your team cards that are out on the board before the other team does. And it's definitely a very challenging game, as it's sometimes really, really hard to come up with a single word that can cover many things. And as you're trying to not let your teammates select the other team's words, or there's also a particular word on the board that if you select, it's just instant game over. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely check this one out if you've got about 4, 6, 8 players to play with. This is just a great and fun game to play. And that's everything that I got to show you guys of what I got for my birthday and for Christmas. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, as that always helps me out. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you got for Christmas, and if you're new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe. And remember, you gotta get the power up to beat the game.